Ah, folks, we gather here today to once again bury the Cincinnati Bearcats at Cintas Center. I had this is what we were supposed to play on the way out, Houdini, and welcome to everyone that's joining on the show. We do this win or lose. Some days are tougher than others. I've went through about 7 cans of Zins today. I just knew this was going to happen waking up today. Welcome, everyone. This was the song that was supposed to play, Houdini. We were going to come out, and I was going to have a picture of Sean Miller, and we were going to go, na, 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 hey, you suck, and we suck. Once again, let me go back to the bagpipes. Let me switch it up. Just a devastating scene. Screw it. Screw the bagpipes. Skew the music. Welcome to Chatterbox Bearcats. Houdini, how we feeling? Opening thoughts.
We're not good, Chuck. We're not good. If there was any year to win it to Cintas, I was fucking 8 years old. Excuse my language. 8 years old the last time they won. I thought maybe
he was fucking 8 years old the last time they won.
I was 8 years old.
Excuse my language.
I had a full head of hair, Chuck. I had hair down to my ass back when they won the last game. And look at me now. I'm just a sad, bald man sitting in his kitchen doing a podcast about how Sean Miller owns us. The Musketeers own us. We shot 10% from three. Like, everything that was my worst nightmare happened tonight. Like, what? I don't know. Dan Skillings, where the hell were you? Simus, what the hell was that?
Yeah, you don't even deserve Simus. Hey, hold on.
Simus,
we have to. He didn't play well. He didn't play well, but we have to say out of the gate.
My
I mean,
God.
he got hit by a Dodge Charger like a week and a half ago.
Right.
So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Thoughts and
but yeah,
prayers.
CJ, the lob didn't look good. The shots didn't look good. Jizzle James, superstar. Wes Miller's building something there with your point guard of the future. But everyone else, I mean, we thought this was different. We thought the Cats are back. It's the same old thing. I mean, Xavier stinks. That's the thing. Like, we watched this game tonight. Xavier is not a good basketball team. I still think Cincinnati could be better, but I'm waving the white flag. I mean, congrats. We're a little brother. I get it. At this point, there's nothing left to argue. This was the year. This was the year. 5 straight. It's like 20 out of 23. I'm a realist. I pride myself on being a realist, everyone. Congratulations, Xavier. I mean, this team was rattled. Once again, Cincinnati came in as a 36% three-point shooting team. They looked like the worst shooting team in the country. I told you this was going to happen. Good God.
I mean, I'm not going to blame it on the refs. The refs did not help our cause in any way whatsoever. But at the end of the day, I mean, their bigs were torturing us inside. And that was supposed to be our bread and butter against this team. Their big stink. We were getting twisted upside down in the paint. And Olivari, whatever the hell you want to call him, who I was worried about in our last show, he's a stud. And Xavier, look, they're not great, but they played Houston very well. They played Purdue very well. And they played us very well, too. I mean, it wasn't even one of those games where you come out of it and you go, I mean, we should have won the game. We played a better overall, head to toe. No, we lost. I mean, we lost in pretty much every aspect of the game. Missing every 3 usually isn't a recipe for winning basketball. So that doesn't really help you. I mean, we got zeros from some of our apparent best players. Just straight up zeros. Like CJ Frederick was atrocious. Dan Skillings was god-awful. And Simus was terrible too. So at the end, it's like, who do we even put in this spot? And we obviously been talking about how deep the team is. That was non-existent today. I mean, we had like 4 guys that played well. Newman was awesome. Locken was awesome. Aziz had good. Aziz, you're 7'12". We need more than 3 points out of you, Aziz.
Yeah.
He had some good defensive plays, good blocks, but I usually take notes, Chuck. I usually take notes during these games to make sure I can have any competent words after it. I threw it out the window.
I threw it out the window too. I know, dude. Yeah. I prepped. This is literally. You're gonna laugh at this. This was literally what I was gonna pop up. Let's take off the graphics first. And I got a bunch of Xavier fans calling me like, this was the open to the show. I was going to have the Hey song. He was going to come out, and now you got to go back to me. I'm the one that's crying. I don't even know how to get this thingy off. Give me about 2 seconds as we pop back up to
Chuck,
two-shot.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It's I mean, congrats.
Elliot's right. Happiness will never happen.
No, happiness will never happen. I'm getting hit up on the text line. This is disgusting on the YouTube chat. Tell me something good. Tell me something. Here's the thing. Red season's right around the corner. They're making a bunch of signs. We can go into a little Chatterbox Red show. We can steal Kirby and Trace Fowler's thunder and try to have some success there. Because once again, the Cats came in rattled. It's as simple as that. They're the better team. I truly believe that. I think we'll see it by the end of the year. Maybe not. Who cares? But I use this excuse every year. I think we're the better team a lot of times. When you come out and you shoot 20% from deep, Xavier shoots at 50% from deep, what do you expect? And Aziz, great defensively, was snagging rebounds left and right. Again, didn't get as much playing time as I would have liked because of the foul trouble. But offensively, he doesn't bring a ton to the table. Locken woke up in the second half. He ended up having 17 or 19 points after just the 3 points in the first half, but they couldn't put it all together at once. Jizzle had his moments of being a star. Locken had his moments of being the guy. Skillings, as you mentioned, a no-show. I think John Newman is the most consistent player on this team right now. I love John Newman, but good God, I'm tired of doing this every year. Xavier fans wake up, especially this year, they had nothing to lose. They're like, well, we lose. We're 4-6. Who cares? We'll laugh it off. We had everything to lose. 7-0. We're talking about how the Cats are back. They should be in the top 25. I'm calling out Joe Lenardi saying, get back to your bunker, you idiot. The Cats should be in the tournament. I saw nothing tonight that makes me think the Cats are going to be back to the tournament. They looked like a group of scared little boys once again, minus Jizzle James, who I think was one of the better players on the floor. He's a superstar, but it's same old story. Every single year, we're not well, we're rattled, time and time again. Congratulations, Xavier. I'm just going to wave the white flag. I mean, at a certain point in life, this is what this has become. You know, growing up, Cincinnati had the number one teams. Xavier got the job done. And I don't know when it really switched, but in the last 10 years, we're little brother. I mean, it's as simple as that, Houdini. I'd love to say otherwise. We got a football program. That's sick. We lost every freaking game of the Big 12 minus Houston. Yeah, so, I mean, who cares?
3-9, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we sucked ass. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's just – sorry about this rant. I mean, I'm going to open up the floor for you.
Listen, you're emotional, right? This is you know, I laugh, I cry.
It's a yearly occurrence. It's a yearly occurrence. It's a yearly occurrence. We know it's coming. I told you when it was 2-0. When it was 2-0, there was a turnover right out of the gate. Day dribbled right off his leg, and there was a missed three from Victor Locken. And I'm like, it's over. And you all said, shut the hell up, Chuck. And I said, I've seen this story before. It's over. And I was right. I was right.
Well, you know what sucks is they kept us hanging on to hope for so long. Like they brought it back. They took the lead in the second half, then went down 11, then brought it back to 4, and then Aziz had that travel on that transition play. And listen, it sucks. I'm not going to downplay this game, but let's not throw the season out at this point. But if you look at, we can right the ship if we beat Dayton at that shithole Heritage Bank Arena here in what is that, next weekend. I'll still be feeling okay, but this is such a massive game, and to come out with an absolute dud. I mean, straight up dud. There's no way around it. We looked like Xavier just looked like they had the better roster, and I know they don't. I truly believe UC is the better basketball team. When you make 5 threes and you shot 28 of them, good luck winning. At some point, you got to look at, was it smart to have our only road game at Howard, where somebody filmed the broadcast on an Android before we stepped foot into the Cintas Center? We weren't – obviously, the road wasn't something we're used to, and it showed a hell of a lot. It reminds me of my – Chuck, not to talk about me, but my senior year, I had to play at the Cintas Center in the playoffs, right? And, I'm a high-caliber player, as you know. I went 0 for 8. I went 0 for 8 because the depth perception in that damn Cintas Arena screws you up. So I assume that happened to C.J. Frederick. I assume it happened to Skillings. I don't know. I'm kind of lost for words, but we better figure it out quickly because after we have like 6 layup games, we're going right into what, BYU, Texas, Baylor, Kansas. They're coming, dude. They're coming. They're going to be a lot better than Xavier. I promise you that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Eventually I get over this and I care about the rest of the year, and this doesn't sting as much aside from my buddies ragging on me for the next 365 days, what they get to do. But it's devastating. A lot of big games left to play this year. That's the positive. The negative is, like, for those of you that are on Twitter, here's a real response from a real human being. Give me a second so I can pull this up because it's worth it.
Kirby's asking while you look it up. Honest question.
Kirby's a good man.
Wes for not scheduling.
Kirby's a good
tough
man.
Game before the shootout. And
yes,
somewhat I am.
1,000%. Yes. I mean, I get it that we're going to the Big 12 and he needs to rack up the wins. No. I mean that it's on the scheduling at the end of the day. Xavier has played so much good competition. They were ready. Cincinnati was not. And UC had their moments where they looked good, especially for a few minutes down the stretch there when Aziz was really clicking, blocking shots, and Newman being so physical. Like, they have some really good players and a chance to be a solid team once again. And like I said, we'll get over it in 4 or 5 days. But in the current moment, once again,
4 or 5 years.
Win a game.
For me.
Win a frickin' basketball game. Xavier comes in the 5th, 3rd. They win games. I mean, at a certain point, it's no longer the yips. It's no longer you're rattled. It's just they have real estate in their head. So maybe it is they are rattled. But anyways, I
beachfront property.
I reached out to someone, and I didn't reach out to anyone. I just said, Bearcats with one of the most typical halves in 21st century Cintas Shootout history. For anyone that doesn't think Xavier owns real estate in this program's head, just look at the numbers every year. Wide open look, which they were. Seamoss had 4 shots he should have hit in the first half.
God.
CJ had 3 shots he should have hit in the first half. And it's clank after clank. And someone responded, Uncle Rico, on Twitter, Uncle Rico 1775. And Uncle Rico, if you're listening, you're a good man. I respect you as a human being. This take right here was absolutely dog shit. He said, I mean, it has always meant more to XU. They lead a miserable life as a program, lose to awful teams, and have a miracle game versus UC, while UC cares about bigger things. This is more of a nuisance. Did he just get unfrozen from 1999? Are you an absolute idiot? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. They kicked our asses again. Sorry for being a realist. Take the floor once more.
No, I mean, I like that angle he's playing. He's like, well, we just lose every time against Xavier. Well, they care about it more than we do, just as a program. This is kind of just he's right. Chuck, I didn't even care about this game. I wasn't crying in the corner earlier before we got on. I could care less about losing to Xavier every goddamn time we play them. And it just sucks because when Xavier's the better team, beat us, when we're the better team, we'll still lose. It really doesn't matter what roster we bring to the table. I mean, we almost stole one with remember DeJulius had that and 1-3 last year. It didn't hurt nearly as bad as this year.
Had no business winning that game. Yeah, we had no business winning that game. We stunk.
No. In this game, they got a bunch of transfers, brand new guys, and they just shit on us. Almost the entire game. I thought the second we took the lead in the second half, I go, maybe we can do this. And blink of an eye, they're up 10 again. Disaster. We're turning the ball over like crazy. And it just sucks because, like, a guy like CJ Frederick, for example, who, he would say that he had an absolutely terrible game. He's played in so many big games, man. I mean, he was at Kentucky and Iowa, and it looked like the game was too big for him. I mean, the shining spot of this whole thing, or the silver lining, is Jizzle James is he's here to stay. I think he's a legitimate stud as he gets he's obviously going to be a 4-year guy. He's not going to be heading to the NBA anytime soon, obviously. I think he could be a cornerstone of this program for years to come. So that's the one thing that we can look at this game and say, hey, at least we got Jizzle, at least we have Edgerrin James' son, who is a stud. Okay, that's the only thing I could look at that made me feel okay.
Yeah, we got Tyler Betsy coming in. I think he's going to be one of the better freshmen since he's had in a long time. McKinley, you add in a big body. Hell, I think Rayvon Griffith is going to be a good player, and he can't even see the floor right now. So the future is, like, I guess it's looking up. But, I mean, how many years are we going to say this for? I've been saying this since 2009.
Who the hell is?
How many times have we
guy in
said
the
the
chat?
tide is turning? We said the tide is turning. We said that
The tide doesn't turn, Chuck. The tide stays the
doesn't
damn
turn.
same ever
We're
since I was
living in
8.
a flat frickin' circle. God bless. What do we do?
The goddamn iPhone didn't exist last time we won, dude.
No, the
That's all
iPod didn't
bigger.
exist. They had the first Apple store in America, or maybe even in the world. Got a fact check there. Was formulated, I think it was like 1 month after the last time Cincinnati won at Xavier with Steve Logan. The Xbox was 30 days old. I mean, like, we've been doing this whole cat and caboodle every goddamn year. I mean, it's nonstop. It's nonstop. And
Am I going
wish-
to die without a win at? Am I going to die without a win at the Cintas? Like,
We're
I'm
going to
be
die
9
without a
years
win at
old
the
and
Cintas.
I'll never see
and
it.
I'm going to – Kirby's having a fun time. Guess what, Kirby? This one's directed at you. We're all going to die without a Reds World Series. We're all going to die without a Bengals Super Bowl. We're going to die without zero happiness. So go out tonight. Houdini, you Mount Adams? Are you going down to OTR? Wherever you're going out tonight, just be irresponsible. Because
big
at the end of the
plans.
day, who
I had
gives
big
a shit?
plans, Chuck. I had big plans, but they're all shit now. You think I want to go out and hang out with all the Musketeers, all the who is, not to finish my thought, the player formerly known as Mouse Cop?
It's the Travis Hunter, or not Travis Hunter.
The guy's
whoever
killing
the hell.
us right now.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, congrats.
I can't even think. He just keeps saying 5 in a row, 5 in a row, 5 in a row, and honestly, it's getting under my skin. And
Yeah, I mean, congrats. They
this
have
might be
great
my
trolls.
last show, Chuck.
Yeah, no, they have great trolls. They have a good fan base. The atmosphere was electric. I mean, tip your cap, Houdini. Hold on.
No, the Cintas, I mean, I will give it kudos. The Cintas Center is a great environment for a basketball game. Unfortunately, if my team enters the arena, there's a 0% chance they come out with a win. And we saw it today. It was at least they showed us right from the jump that we're not winning this game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like we immediately, it was like, we're not winning. We're not winning, and then they flirted with, being competitive. And then
But they gave us the hope. Usually they don't give us the hope, right? Usually they're down 12 at halftime, and they don't
this
make
team
that
is
run
good.
back. We are good.
Well,
I
Chuck,
think we are good.
Let me ask you this, because I thought this was probably our biggest downfall as a team, because I do still think the roster's deep, although we had a couple guys just play like absolute dog shit. I think they're overall, over the season is concerned, they're going to be good. Frederick and Lukosius, those guys, I think they're going to figure it out. But we do not have a go-to guy yet. Somebody that is clearly the go-to man in a situation like when you're down 6 at Xavier with 3 minutes left. Where are we giving it to Locken? Because typically, especially in college, your go-to guy is not going to be your 7-footer in the paint. It's usually going to be a guard or a swing forward type player. So I think that's where we struggle. Who's the guy that you want the ball to be in their hands in clutch crunch time moments? And I don't know if we have that yet.
I've said it all year. I was on Rick Broring's show the other day, and he asked me who the guy was. It's Jizzle James. Like, Jizzle James is not – he's fearless. He's not afraid of anything. And I get he's probably not the best player on your team right now, but I want the ball in a guy's hands that just does not care, that is just like, I'm going to attack every time I get it. I'm going to play hard. I'm not going to be affected by anything. Like Locken at times tonight, you could tell that these Xavier fans are getting under his skin. I mean, I remember 3 years ago when Locken played in his first shootout, and he posted a picture after the game, and what is the Lord of the Rings? Is it Mordor? Like, I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. Can someone help us out in the chat? Like, what is it, Mordor? Like the bad place in the Lord of the Rings? I'm more of a Harry Potter guy.
Yeah, Voldemort. Yeah, I know
Guardian
that.
Leviosa. Yeah, I think it's Mordor or whatever. And he said Mordor will be destroyed. It's been 3 years. Mordor has not been destroyed. The only thing that's been destroyed is me, my personal well-being. God bless. This sucks.
See, that's what you get. That's what you get at Chatterbox, though. You get a Lord of the Rings analogy after UC lost to Xavier. I didn't see that one coming. Wasn't on my bingo card, but I appreciate it.
I didn't either.
You got any film guys in the audience? They're going to really love that one. We're
right,
Frodo Baggins, but never got the ring, brother.
Yeah, we're Frodo Baggins. We may get the ring someday. Hey, I'm going to live vicariously through all the grandpas out there that won one in 61-62. Shout out to you. Aziz Bandago, 3 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and the 4 fouls in the game. Victor Locken had a great second half with, I think, 14 points. He had 17 total, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. John Newman's a damn good basketball player. If you want to talk about consistency,
was awesome today.
Yeah, I get it. Like, Dan Skillings is probably more talented than John Newman and maybe a better player when it's all said and done. But John Newman is a steady hand. I mean, every time he touched the ball, you're like, Newman's going to do the right thing here. He's not going to force it.
Is that behind the back?
Oh, yeah, and Newman would – and then the pass to Locken, Newman would go around the screen, and he'd have the open three and wouldn't take it. He knew better. Like, we're not hitting threes. Why would I take the shot? Dan would get that open shot, and he'd be like, oh, I see a green light, and then he'd brick it. So Newman had the 18, had 8 rebounds, 2 assists. John Newman, he's excellent. Very glad he's back on this team after, I wouldn't say trashed him a bit, but I didn't think he was going to be a superstar by any means, and he's playing great. Day Thomas played well in the second half. He had 15 points and 2 assists. C.J. Frederick, a goose egg, 0 for 4. Here's the thing with C.J., and every UC fan knows this right now. When he hits his first couple, 15, 16 points are coming. When he misses his first couple, I think that's 3 goose eggs now in, 7-1? In 8 games this year. I think there's been 3 games where C.J. Frederick hasn't scored a point. Feast or famine. Tonight it was all famine. Odie Oguama, 3 points, 3 blocks. I know the UC group me that I was in was like, why is Odie seeing the floor? But in the second half, I thought he had some moments where he at least, clogged the lane pretty well in defense. Jizzle James, superstar. Jizzle, 19 points. Josh Reed, I didn't even see Josh Reed in there. He didn't do anything. The only thing he did is turn one over. Aside from that, a goose egg across the stat sheet. Dan Skillings, 2 points. Simas Lukosius, who gets the asterisk by his name because he did get hit by a car 10 days ago. He has 2 points. And then on the other side, it was 27 for Olivari, 20 for Davion McKnight. You mentioned it, man. You said if McKnight goes off, we're screwed. McKnight went off. We were screwed.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was like, it was my worst nightmare came to life today. And Xavier was a better team from the start to finish. And, we try to squeak by, shooting the ball 10% from 3. It almost feels like, especially when we get into Big 12 play, if a guy like CJ goes goose egg, I think we're in serious trouble because he's the one guy that I actually trust shooting a 3 ball. Like, I love Vic and the fact that he has that range, but here's a call. It's probably it's actually a UC fan. Thank God.
I've been getting hammered by the X fans. Every 2 seconds I look down at my phone. I got 7 missed FaceTime audios. One with Wimby. Shout out Andy Wimberg, who I haven't talked to in like literally 2 years. Good man.
Chuck, you made your own bet on this. You were talking shit to Xavier fans. Because
I thought we were going to win. I thought we were going to win. I thought it was that simple, Houdini. Xavier stinks.
Stupid.
They stink. We stink
stupid.
too. We all stink. We suck. I mean, all of us suck. It's as simple as that. We have the Reds to look forward to as a whole. Jake Browning has the Bengals back. We could just do a chatter show right now if you want. We could do MySpace top 5, top moments from Christmas or top Christmas presents. I mean, we can mix it up.
Christmas is canceled, brother. Christmas is canceled. I'm not doing it this year. We just lost at the Cintas for the 5th time in the last 5 years. Christmas isn't happening. I already told my family, my loved ones, I will not be attending due to what happened today, the massacre on the floor. So that's it for me. This might be my last show in general. Like, I don't know if I can do it anymore.
See, here's the thing. The UC shows were actually fun. The football shows, I should say, were actually fun when they were losing because we all had something in common. It was like it was an anger, but at the same time, it was like this is a joke. Today was just like, I'm squirming.
Chuck,
again.
I have champagne in the fridge. Dead serious.
You were going to pop it on the show. You were going to pop it on the
show. And I was thinking, I'm like, maybe that's, a little crazy to act like it's the Super Bowl to beat Xavier, but it's like, listen, it was the first time since 2001. Maybe I'll have a little fun with it. There's no fun being had over here. I was going to pop it off.
Yeah.
I should be celebrating. Me and you should be having a time of our lives.
I mean, I thought it was going to be the time of our lives. That's why I had this ready to go. It was going to be great. And instead of that, we turned that off, and here's the only music that the Bearcats fans are going to be hearing tonight. Let's play it. God bless. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm producing. I'm directing. No, I don't want the bagpipe guy up. Get the graphics back on. Jesus. This is what happens when you have 4 whiskey and cokes during the game, folks. No, I don't want that song. Hold on. We're going back. I got to do this. Hold on. Come on. Easy now. Wes Miller still hasn't won a big game. It's as simple as that. I love Wes. I love what he's doing. I think he is the right man to lead the program. I think he's put a pretty good team together that's gotten better every single year. He's been at the helm. But you got to win a big game, man, at some point. Wes, we sat next to each other at the Moeller Stag. I was the keynote speaker, not to boast. I can't believe they asked me to do that. Not even in TV anymore, and they're like, hey, Chuck, why don't you come out and talk to hundreds of people? So I was sitting next to Wes Miller up on the stage at Moeller High School, and I was all about it. I'm still all about it. I'll ride him to the death. We give him 5 years. But win a big game. Win a big game. Schedule some games.
He's gonna have plenty of opportunities here in the next 2 months. I mean, we're playing the big dogs. That's why winning this game would have been crucial, but we got to look ahead at this point. I'm not going to sit here and sulk all day. I'll get my tears out tonight. And then once we get into Big 12 play, it is no joke. I mean, I think we're playing 3 teams at the top 25 in a row, and then like an undefeated West Virginia team or something along those lines. Then we go right into Kansas. It's going to be a brutal schedule. He'll have plenty of opportunities to win a big game, and we got to beat BYU. We got to beat Dayton first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's beat Dayton at that Heritage Bank ass arena, and then I'll be feeling okay. But I'll never live this one down because we were talking all that shit, and things didn't change. Maybe who do we play next?
Bryant. Yeah, Bryant. Should we just talk a bunch of shit to Bryant fans? Yeah, we'll talk a bunch of.
I'll pop the champagne after we beat Bryant.
That's the toughest thing about this, man, is that we respect Xavier fans as a human being. We love Xavier fans. They're great people. Their program we can't stand. Well, and growing up, we were the kings on the block, and they've clearly taken it over, and it's to the point where they own so much real estate in Cincinnati's head that Cincinnati, a really good shooting team this year, at least at home. Apparently they suck on the road because they were awful against Howard too, and they were awful again tonight. Final number was at 3 of 20 or 5 of 20 in this game, whatever it was. It was under 25%. It was disgusting. It was atrocious. It was an abomination. It was a travesty. It was detrimental to our health. I could go on and on.
Crime against humanity.
Crime against humanity. I mean, we could go on and on with the adjectives all day. And I was thinking, we got 40 people in here, the majority of whom are sad Bearcats fans just trying to cope. I don't have anything for you. I wish that I could give you something to cope. Sure, we may be pretty decent this year, but good teams win this basketball game. Guess what? Houston, who kicks our asses nowadays, guess what they just did a week ago? They went into the Cintas Center and took care of business. Cincinnati just can't do it. And at a certain point, I threw my hat. I was going to tip it, but I'll tip my cap to Xavier. I mean, congratulations. You've made us boil. You've gotten under our skin to the point where I give up. I hate this game. I hate this day every year. It's like a hold on. Let me go back. Houdini, give me a second.
It's honestly turning into our supposed rivalry with Miami of Ohio. Like we win so. We don't win the games. It's almost not even a rivalry anymore. I mean, how do you lose 5 straight games to your biggest rival like that? How does that work?
2001.
It's turning into a
2001, the last time Cincinnati has gone to this. I mean, these are 2 highly competitive programs, and they just can't win at that stadium. Bagpipes are done. I think that's it from us tonight. Bryant's next up. I'll run through the next 3 games real quick and try not to be as depressed for the Bryant game. It's Bryant, it's Dayton, it's Merrimack, it's Stetson, it's Evansville. Oh, you're going to be really battle-tested heading into Provo. I don't get this schedule. Reminds me a lot of the 2010, 2011 Cincinnati team that started off like 13-0 because they played absolutely no one. They did beat Xavier at Fifth Third when Yancey was hitting all those turnaround jumpers and threes, if you remember that. Yeah, Cronin, they beat him good. It was like Larry Davis, Anthony McLean, that team coming off the bench. But, you're not battle-tested at all. How good is this team? You just lost to a team that previously lost to Oakland and Delaware. I think they'd lost 3 or 4 straight home games. I don't think Xavier's horrible by any means, but that's the hardest team you've played so far. You lost to them. Second hardest game you played was at Howard. You almost lost that one too. So we'll see. Wes, if you're listening, I believe in you. I'm not gonna.
Sure he is.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do what I want to do right now, but you lost. And at some point, you got to go out there and win. I don't want to know what he's saying at the press conference right now. We fought. We whatever. Get some shooters. Rayvon Griffith can shoot. He's not playing right now. Now, maybe he's just not ready to play. I think you know better than me. But at the same time, I've been saying all season Jizzle James is one of the best players on this team. You put him out there and give him minutes. And once again, he wasn't on the floor to start this game. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's devastating.
Yeah, throw it out, man.
Throw out the schedule. Who gives a damn?
Wes is the guy. I still think Wes is the guy through and through. The problem is I love Wes so much that I might see him, I could see him losing to Xavier like 10 times in a row. I'd still be like, listen, this guy gets it. Just listen to the guy talk. He motivates players like him. It's impossible to not like Wes Miller. And I still think absolutely he's the guy. I'm not going to throw the season away because we lost in bullshit-ass Norwood tonight. Or wherever that damn arena's at. It was a tough loss. We looked like shit, couldn't shoot the ball, didn't play anywhere near that I think we're capable.
Sorry I cut you off, Houdini. I don't have everything figured out yet. I'll pull you back up and let you finish. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that was it. Give me the Michael Jordan crying meme. It might as well be my face at this point. But no, that's it.
If any of the Xavier trolls that are on the chat room right now want to send me a UC one, I'll finish with that. But that's all we got. What do you got on the docket tonight? You gonna do something fun? That's the good thing about this. It's just a game. I don't care. I'm not angry about it. I mean, I'm gonna have fun tonight.
Somebody asked me why I was so invested in sports. I saw the first half at a bar, and I didn't even know how to answer that question. They're like, why are you so invested in sports? It was a guy, and I'm like, because we're dudes. I like seeing alpha males battle it out on a basketball court. It's, it gives me joy. I didn't have a good answer. I mean, what would your answer be on that? Why do you like sports? Why do you get so invested in sports, like seeing 20-year-olds play basketball? It literally will ruin my night if they play like shit.
Because apparently I love heartbreak. I live for that. There's we were talking on the chatter, which we're going to promo that in just a minute on the last show, how all the people that decorate way too much for Christmas and get way too into Christmas, like Clark Griswold, have some demons. Sports people, we have demons inside. Yeah. I just want something to go right. I want some happiness, and I rely on these young student athletes. Focus on the student athletes first, or focus on the student before the athletes. I rely on them to give me happiness, to give me joy, to make my life. And once again, I'm sad. I am mad. I'm down bad. Is that how we end it?
Yeah, I think so. That was poetic. It was beautiful. It basically encapsulated exactly what happened tonight, man.
Chatterbox Bearcats, we got a lot more of these to do this season. This was supposed to be the fun one. I thought it was going to be popping. I thought the Bearcats faithful was going to be in here, full swing, talking about fun things. First win since 2001. I had just a plethora of things planned. I got this stream deck right here, Houdini. And this is the coolest thing you'll ever see as a streamer. You can basically push a bunch of different things, and once I figure it out, it's going to be electric because we have like 3 different cameras set up. We have a bunch of different sound bites. I had, Mick Cronin. I went to a school where we invented the vaccine for polio. I had that ready to go. We had the Hey song ready. It was going to be a hell of a post-game show, and I knew this was coming. I woke up this morning not feeling good after 20 days of feeling excellent about this game, and next year when this happens at home, let's just go in assuming we're going to lose. As simple as that. Let's go in like Miami of Ohio against UC, and then maybe we just jinx ourselves and we flip the script that way. Because us thinking we're the superior program, it's not working. I hate to break it to you guys. We're diehard Cat fans. We've been Cats fans since the moment we took our first steps. The moment we saw our first big screen with UC on it and fell in love with those blocks, those beautiful blocks. Guess what? The blocks are back. We still can't win this damn game, Houdini. Final thoughts for you before I end it with the Chatter promo. And for those of you that haven't subscribed to the Chatter on the podcast app, we talk a little sports when sports are necessary, but it's a lot of, how would you describe the Chatter? I'll leave the floor to you right now to kind of encapsulate our show that we do in a nutshell, because all the TikTokers have been calling us yappers lately. Just tell the people.
It's a lot of yapping. It's it's sports, comedy, just finding interesting things going on and kind of dissecting them in day-to-day life, throwing a whole lot of humor in there, and just your basic banter. It's like you're at a bar just bantering with the boys or girls. We have a decent female audience, actually.
We actually have a really good female audience. Yeah. I'd say quite a bit. So, that's why we don't talk about the X's and O's a lot, because the females that we know that watch the show consistently, they don't really care. That's why we throw in the MySpace top 5 and on the trains and that sort of thing. You got to make everyone happy at the end of the day. We know our demographic. Baby.
Absolutely. But, appreciate everybody hopping on. This was a solid chat. Obviously, thought it was going to be a little bit better. I mean, even, Natty Iron, Sean Connor, Fetters, obviously, Kirby, everybody.
Steve from Chicago. Steve, I'm in Chicago right now. What are we doing tonight, Steve from Chicago? Before we get off here, you got to let me know where you're going. I may head down to Butch McGuire's, have myself a night. I don't see why not. But it's the same old story with Cincinnati. They have the yips at Xavier. I still think we showed enough in this game to where we should be optimistic about this year. We're better than last year. We're better than we've been the last few years. Taking steps in the right direction. Jizzle James, clearly a superstar. Victor Locken, who played terrible in the first half, put it together in the second half and really proved to me that he's solid no matter the day. John Newman, solid. But at some point, Dan Skillings, we're relying on you to be a star in this team. You didn't play well today. You know you didn't. You got a lot of years, so if you're planning on potentially testing the waters or, hopping into that portal, don't. Because you got to help us take down Xavier and flip this script. See, I'm just discombobulated, Houdini. It's just been
I get it.
a tough day overall. Steve from Chicago, appreciate it. You gave me a big old lull. You didn't tell me where you're going out tonight, so I'll be out at the local watering hole, and you won't be. Houdini,
you start yelling Steve from Chicago at the bar and see if he shows up.
He may. I think he's going to be down in Gold Coast tonight. Anyways, I got to respond to all these Xavier FaceTimes. I'm a man of honor. That is what I do. When people call me out because I was talking trash for the last 2.5 weeks, I respond and I say, congratulations. Wave the white flag. Where are you guys going tonight? Give me a Skyline Coney. Bury me in a vat of chili. We're not well, Houdini. We're not well. Thanks for hopping on tonight. Enjoy your night, everyone. The Chatter, this is one thing we have going for us. We want to grow the podcast, so subscribe to it right now, and we'll see you after the next Bearcats game.
A little more
Thanks,
upbeat than this bullshit that we just did. So
no doubt about it. See you, everyone.
What if I told you that no two paths are ever the same? That different roads oftentimes lead to the spot where it all began. What if I told you two childhood friends came together to take over the podcast world?
Where's my snare?
Villanova should not be in the tournament.
Hey, everybody, how are you? Chuck Walter here.
This sweatshirt's getting a little hot in here. It's sorry about it, Pittsburgh. Better luck tomorrow.
Cincinnati, how we doing tonight?
The only thing on my mind this year is getting back to the state championship and smoking as much resin as I possibly can with my buddies.
It's the Skyline chili eating duo you love.
Oh,